Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 2 of this best of 5 between Republic of Gamers Elfi and AcerNerchio. Nerchio, the red Zerg player in the top right, Elfi the blue Protoss player in the lower left, and well, if you haven't watched game 1 yet, flick to my channel, check it out because it is awesome. For those of you who want a quick rundown, here it comes. Basically, Elfi went for a very quick economy focused play to go into the mid game where he got 2 Stargates out off of 2 bases, pumped a load of Phoenix, but Nerchio luckily scouted it and basically just chucked down a load of spores and eventually just won because Phoenix can't engage that well. So the current score is Elfi 0, Nerchio 1. So obviously, it doesn't matter too much because this is a best of 5, so we will wait and see how that plays out. We do have the pylon coming down on the low ground again. The map, of course, is Daybreak, and it's quite easy to get fast expansion down here. Even though it's a 2-player map, it's got a really long rush distance, especially before these rocks in the center are taken down. Nerchio will probably see again a 14 or 15 pull out of him into a quick natural into a 4 to 5 minute third base, which is to be expected, to be honest. Now, little fact about Elfi here, he used to play Undead in Warcraft 3, so obviously a lot of these players have a big background in RTS games, which you have to do because it's a kind of mindset. So we will wait and see how that all goes down. And I mean, Nerchio, he's gone for that 14 pool again, so an identical opening to game 1, which, to be fair, who can blame him, because he won in game 1, might as well do exactly the same thing in game 2. So, we do have this probe just running around seeing what we can find, and yet again, Elfi looking like he's gearing up to go for that Nexus first build, which is a little bit more risky, but the rewards can pay off in the end. So, let's see, here we go, it's going to go down. Now, obviously in game 1, Nerchio did manage to slip in quite a few Zerglings past the wall of Elfi, which gave him great scouting information and let him pick off quite a few probes. And so far, that was probably quite a turning point, because obviously Elfi lost any element of surprise from his build, and also lost a bit of economy, and also just psychologically it's quite dangerous having those probes in there. Now, the natural base did get delayed very fractionally, but Nerchio should be able to get it down this time, so absolutely fine there. Obviously, his third base will be going down hopefully within the next minute. This Overlord scouting out. Now, where can you put Overlords on this map? Well, you've got this nice little position at the back. You've got this position up here. Also, you can stick Overlords down here to sacrifice in, or alternatively over here if you can get them there. Each and every one of those is good positions to get them, just so you know what the Protoss player is doing. The third base is going to be coming down any second now for Nerchio. We do have that drone moving over, and bang on about 4 minutes it's going to go down. Actually, that is a very early third. The probe is going to get denied. We'll scout it, but obviously all that tells Elfi is my opponent is going to have an absolutely great economy really quickly, and that will mean the Nerchio's opened up a little bit to any kind of early aggression, but because of this Nexus first build, there is no way that will work for Elfi, because he's just not going to be able to do anything there. We do only have the 2 Zerglings on the field at the moment, but the Overlord spread, absolutely great. Both watchtowers held by Zerglings as well. And if we take a look up here, we do just have Nerchio droning away. The cybernetic score on its way down here for Elfi. Chrono boosting out those probes. He's got 2 gas up. No gas yet for Nerchio, which is to be expected. He won't get it for about another 10 supply. Around the 40 to 50 supply mark is when Zerg players will start getting gas in this build order. Now, obviously, Nerchio does seem to favour only getting the 1 queen per base, at least early on, which I think is a bit subpar. Anyone who watches my channel frequently, there was some really cool games. It was between Thorzane and who was it? Thorzane and someone. I've completely lost it now, but basically his opponent went for, he got 6 queens on 2 bases every single game, and I just think those extra queens are so helpful with the creep spread and also the early defense of any kind of single zealot stalker pressure or anything like that you may come up against. So far though, we do just have Nerchio really looking to be in a great spot. He's got his 3 bases up. He's not had any pressure on him yet. This one Stalker may come and try and pick off some Overlords, but gonna have a nasty time doing it. The Zerglings running back from the watchtower. They want to get taken out, but obviously this means the Nerchio knows exactly what's going on. Elfi, on the other hand, is, well, fully aware that the third base has come down, so knows he is pretty safe. We do have 2 gas on their way. at about the 50 supply mark there, so a bit early. 5 more drones are coming down. We do have the warp gate tech and the robotics facility, probably going to be used for an observer, very similar to how game 1 was played out. Now this one stalker is going to have a bit of a nasty time trying to run around. We do have the injector going off absolutely everywhere, and if we take a look, we are 40 to 43 workers in favour of Nerchio, which is probably not as much as he would like. But the one concern, obviously, for Elfi is now that third base is up, rather, and the injector going down on it. That drone count is rapidly going to reach up to that 70+ mark, where suddenly Zerg players are this crazy ball of being able to spam out units so fast that basically if the first wave doesn't kill you, the second one will. So if we take a look around, we've got the third and fourth gas coming down. We'll probably see a fifth gas relatively soon from Nerchio, who's getting his Rotron, Lair, and Evo chamber all at once. We do have an Immortal getting chrono boosted out here for Elfi, and he's got a couple of sentries getting another gateway up, and in his main base he's got 2, 4, 5, 6 gate. It's going to be a 6 gate robo, which is pretty aggressive. It's going to be hard to take a third quickly out behind this. It'll probably be 2 Immortals when the push will come, and that can be a very, very powerful push Immortal sentry. So obviously hopefully this will play out for Elfi, because if he leveled up the series, it would put him in a great spot going into Game 3. Nerchio, though, he has just finished his lair. This observer is seeing absolutely everything that's going on, though. We do have the infestation pick coming down, so this is very similar. Very, very early roach infestors coming out here for Nerchio, which we did see in Game 1, and they ultimately won it for him when he took out all of those Phoenix being stacked up. But infestors themselves an absolutely great unit. Now, it's interesting where Nerchio is actually putting his roaches, and the unit's down by this third. Usually you see a lot of Zerg players just try and sit here to defend the main and natural as well as the third base, but the downside to that is if the Protoss army gets up here, force fields down in this area can absolutely cut your army up, and it can be a nightmare. But this is a very, very big force coming down. The third is getting completely blocked off by creep spread from Nerchio. This is also giving him fantastic scouting information. If he doesn't see a third very, very shortly, he's going to know something's up, but that doesn't matter because the watchtower is there, and he's going to see exactly what it is. 3 Immortals, a lot of sentries, and basically that is going to be unfun times. The probe coming forward as well, but there was that changeling in the base I didn't notice before, so that's given Nerchio everything he needs to know. He's now pumping out a lot of units. Effectively, to counteract this, he needs to snipe down those Immortals very, very quickly. The War Prism is coming out, though, and is on its way across the map. That's going to help massively, but the Overseer is spotting out where all the pylons are going down. They need to get taken out to prevent the reinforcements. Infestors are on the way. Pathogen Glands nearly finished up, of course. The +1 melee attack is on its way, and, well, while we will see an Overseer take an awful lot of damage, it's giving Nerchio a good count of what's coming down, and Nerchio has to engage this very, very carefully. The force fields are going to be the problem, but if Nerchio gets something like that where he forces Elfi to use an awful lot of force fields for not much stuff, he's going to be in a great, great spot. And those force fields weren't quite on the money, and now we do have Nerchio charging forward, though. A massive fungal growth on a lot of units, but the fungal growths are coming down. The Immortals are able to engage. The first one only just staying up at the moment. There he goes down. We do have the Warp Prism in there as well, providing power for a warping of units, but Nerchio just has so much stuff right now, and a lot of force fields have gone down. A massive fungal growth goes down on all of the sentries. Drones are being pulled to soak up the damage, because ultimately this is an all-in attack right now from Elfi, and if Nerchio can hold it, he'll be absolutely fine. And this is Roach on, well, Immortal Stalker Force, and of course the Roaches don't engage that well until they can get in range, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. The Queen's pushing forward as well. We do see here Nerchio just with so much stuff on the field. He's trying to do as much damage as possible. Some transfuses even going down, and, well, those Immortals are getting focused down, and once those Immortals go, this Roach Ball is going to be nearly unstoppable, and Elfi's push will lose all of its momentum. A great move by Nerchio, just pulling back. Doesn't want to engage now, but of course there's no sentries left, so there are no force fields. Now Immortal getting picked out the front of the army. That is not at all where he wants to be, and suddenly now we do have Elfi looking like he's going to lose this. The drones are going in, will soak up some damage from those Stalkers, allowing those Roaches to absolutely maximize their efficiency. And while a lot of workers have been killed here, basically Nerchio has completely taken the momentum out of this push. He has his third base up, he has the tech advantage, and is now just powering Roaches out. Is getting a little bit low on money though, but these zealots and stalkers are slowly dying. One more sentry is on the field, but one force field is not going to change anything very much at all. And this is just a constant micro battle where Nerchio needs to keep engaging efficiently, doing as much damage as he can while not taking too much damage either, because if those roach numbers get too small, you can reach an awkward point where Protoss units in even the second they have higher numbers engage so effectively, but these roaches, they're pushing forward, but Nerchio forced back again still, and Elfi is just keeping piling on this pressure here, and Nerchio just needs to keep building stuff to stand any chance at all. Those zealots soaking up a lot of fire, but they don't engage well against roaches. They can have that stutter step micro, which obviously means that the zealots don't get any hits off. We do have the queen trying to split some creep just to get more vision. A great transfuse goes down, making these roaches last as long as possible, and just so many stalkers getting picked off one at a time. And Elfi is doing a tremendous job of trying to keep this up, but as the next 6 roaches pop in, I think that will pretty much be it, and there is the GG from Elfi. So Nerchio does indeed take game 2 of this best of 5. So if you did enjoy, please thumbs up the video, please subscribe as well, and most importantly flick to my channel, and I'll see you at game 3 in 2 seconds. Thank you very much for watching.